Bailador Technology Investments is a growth capital fund focused on the information technology sector. Joining me today is co-founder and managing partner, David Kirk. David, welcome to the Stock Network.
Nice to be here. Thank you very much.
Now, David, you're the former CEO of Fairfax Media, where you led the successful investment into a number of internet businesses. You're also chairman of KMD Brands in Australia, and the US big technology stocks have had a strong start to the year, but the smaller side of the market here is really still struggling. How are you feeling about the tech space heading into 2024?
I'm feeling really good about 2024. I think we've finally washed out the bubble. There was a bubble in valuations between 1920 and 1923, and now I think we're back to the sort of sensible valuations and sensible opportunities to invest that we saw back before the bubble.
Can I ask you a bit more about that? For example, in Australia and in the US, we have seen some very high valuations and big success stories like Meta giving a dividend, but also, so many tech layoffs. Can you pinpoint some areas that you think are particularly positive or some perhaps that have been concerning?
Well, I think what we've seen in the tech markets generally, in the US in particular, but also here in Australia, is a bifurcation of valuations for listed companies, and in particular the very big companies, which need to be held in the portfolios of a lot of fund managers, have continued to attract investment. And the long tail of smaller companies that don't need to be held, the retail investor who used to invest in those companies have been much more cautious in the last little while. So I think that's been the main issue. And the important thing for people like us is we can cut through all that and we can look for the quality of the underlying companies.
Now, looking closer at Bailador, you yourself have seen your share price grow almost 80% in the last 5 years. That's a strong performance by any accounts. Can you detail perhaps your fund's mandate and also outline why you think this has been such a winning approach for you?
Well, the mandate's very simple. Our mandate is to invest in information technology companies at the growth stage at attractive valuations. And wrapped up in that last point, attractive valuations is really the reason we've been successful. We've been able to invest in companies at sensible valuations, and we've worked hard to help those companies grow. And then we've been able to realize at high valuations. And we realized through the last period, 21, 22, we sold a number of our businesses at high valuations. And of course, that realized great profits. And we're sitting on quite a bit of cash. So we're in a position now to reinvest at sensible valuations.
Excellent. Looking further, perhaps at the outlook and the future opportunities. I want to ask you really about the kind of companies that you're going to be looking to invest in, and where will you be looking for future growth opportunities?
Well, our mandate's Australia and New Zealand, and at the growth stage, so that's typically companies with 5 to 10 million of revenue or even a bit more, and growing well and having good, efficient growth. And we focus on unit economics to understand that clearly. And so it's really just in the pool that we've been in previously, which is the Australian and New Zealand startup world. They come through and get out of that startup stage into the growth stage, looking for more capital and looking for some expertise, some people who really understand how to scale businesses, take them from valuation of 25 million to a valuation of $1 billion. And that's certainly what we've done a couple of times.
And David, finally, I'm just remembering I was at a conference once with your co-founder, Paul, and after the presentation he gave, he was surrounded by people, young entrepreneurs, business owners coming up to him and saying, how can I get Bailador to invest in me? What are you looking for exactly that is going to really attract you to invest in my company? Perhaps just any words of wisdom for any CEO, be they unlisted or listed, that would want Bailador to back them?
Well, it's really on the quality of the business, and that means that the business has reached the scale that we're looking for, that they've demonstrated they've got great product market fit, they've got customers that continue to come back and deal with them, they've got good growth economics, meaning mostly that they're acquiring customers at a cost, which means that customer is very profitable over the life time of the customer. So there's that, and then there's just the quality of the people and their desire to work with people like us. I mean, we're very easy to work with, I think, and we're there to help. We go on the board, we roll up our sleeves, we do everything we can to assist the companies, but we're not there to grab the steering wheel and tell them how to do their job. So, being good to work with and having a great company that's solving a real problem with good growth economics is what we're looking for.
Great. Well, David, thank you for your insights. Keep up the great work at Bailador and look forward to following your continued success.
Thank you.